I am the vision of life. Alright, let's get this started with. Today we're doing science. Alright, science. This is the January 19th, 2024 edition. Let's get this started with right now. Now, this is the third installment in this story, in this science magazine, and let's just keep going ahead with it. Now, I've actually been using the front page a bit too much, and I actually haven't put anything in the back pages, because, this is just research articles. There may be 121 pages, but they're all full of boring kinds of things. So, right now, what I'm going to do is just tell you guys about things in the science. And today we're actually going to talking about science. And not just science, we're actually going to talk about life. Now let me explain. Let's start off with the paper trail, which it starts on page 12. Now, apparently one evening in June 2023, Nicholas Wise, who is a fluid dynamics researcher at the University of Cambridge, who moonlights as a scientific fraudbuster, and was actually digging around some shady Facebook groups when he came across something that he had actually never seen before. Wise was all too familiar with offers to sell or buy offers, like those kinds of things, like buy offer slots and reviews of scientific papers, which was the sign of a busy paper mill. However, this one was a little different. This was something entirely new. Rather than targeting potential offers and reviewers, someone who literally calls himself Jack Ben, which was from a firm of Chinese company name, and which translates to all of academic, was actually going for journal editors, offering large sums of cash to these gatekeepers in return for accepting papers for publication. Sure, you will make money from us, then promise prospective collaborators and document links from Facebook posts, along with screenshots actually showing transfers of up to $20,000 or more. And in several cases, the recipient's name was actually could be made out because of the sloppy blurring, like Joan, but it's supposed to be written like this, but very sloppy blurring, so you could still make it out. More than 50 journal editors have already signed on, he actually already wrote. And there was even an online form for interested editors to actually fill out. Jackpot, he thought, and he said, oh geez, I'm gonna have to report this. And so he did. At least tens of millions of dollars flow to the paper mill industry each year, estimates Matt Hodgkin of the independent charity UK Research Integrity Office, and to actually offers support to further good research practices, who is also a council member at the non-profit committee on publication ethics. Now, publishers, journals recognizing this trend have actually beefed up their research integrity teams and retracted papers, sometimes by the hundreds, and they're investing in ways to actually spot third-party involvement, such as screening tools meant to flag bogus papers. So cash-rich paper mills have evidently adopted a new tactic, bribing editors and planting their own agents on editorial boards to ensure publication of their manuscripts. Now, Investigation by Science and Retraction Watch, in partnership with Wise and other industry experts, identified several paper mills and, of course, more than 30 editors of reputable journals who appear to be involved in this type of activity, and many were guest editors of special issues, which have actually flagged in the past as particularly vulnerable to abuse because they are edited separately and from the regular journal. But several were regular editors or members of journal editorial boards, and this is likely just to be the tip of the iceberg. Now, Hodgkinson recalls hearing one publisher say that it had to lack 300 editors for manipulative behavior, and he added that they are like organized crime rings that are committing large-scale fraud. And apparently, after giving these charges to the court, the guys were like, you know what? No, we don't do this. We don't do this at all. You guys are lying. And apparently the Facebook pages that Wise himself actually looked at are actually all deleted and were gone. Mysteriously. Mysterious, eh? Dun dun dun! Alright. And of course, there's this other guy who calls this a scandal, as apparently editors are actually bribed to let papers in, even if it is misinformation. Publishers are quick to point out that most of the tens of thousands of the editors that they work with are honest and professional, but they also say that they are under siege. A spokesperson for Elsevier said every week its editors are offered cash in return for accepting manuscripts. Sabina Alam, director of publishing ethics and integrity at Taylor and Francis, said bribery attempts have also been directed at journal editors there and are a very real area of concern. Now, Jean Francois Narengarten of the University of Strasbourg, co-chair of the editorial board of Chemistry, a European journal, actually published by Wiley, was targeted in June 2023. She actually received an email from someone claiming to be working with young scholars in China and offering to pay him $300 for each paper that he helped publish in his journal. Now, students are really desperate to get research papers in whichever way possible, like Zaidi says. No one really cares about the outcomes, he said. It's all about the literal outputs. And also, publishers have ramped up their efforts against all this fraud. It's still going to happen. It's still happening. And now they're going to ramp up all ways against it. Yikes. This was grim. Large-scale fraud? What? This is BS, man. BS. Alright, next up, we're going to have to talk about natural hazards, super shear, and surface faults. A 2023 earthquake sequence in Turkey and Syria actually caused a great deal of damage and loss of life. Meng et al. Captured surface features with comprehensive set of field and drone observations with a comprehensive set of field and drone observation before these features could have been eroded or destroyed. Now, the surface deformation caused from this underlying faults was complex, but provides insight into fault displacement, rupture propagation, and slip transfer between fault systems. Now, these observations should help with future seismic hazards and with interpreting events from the historic record. Now, Ren et al. Used an array of geophysical observations to determine how rupture propagated along the complex series of faults. Apparently, what it's saying is apparently there was this earthquake, and then there was this rupture, and it was the rupture speed was faster than the shear wave velocity at times, meaning that the breaking apart speed was faster than the shock waves. Yikes. And this condition is called a super shear, where you offer piece together some of the underlying physics behind this literally complex earthquake, which happened in Turkey, formerly known as Turkey, and Syria. And this actually helped those scientists understand better the rupture process and subsequent ground shaking. Yay. And last but not least for this episode to end is the copper coupling guide. Now, the copper coupling guide is pretty darn interesting. Let me explain. Alright, this itself is... Okay, how should I put this in a nice way? Weird. This copper coupling guide actually shows things that we've never done before. Now, reactions that form carbon-nitrogen bonds are central to the synthesis of pharmaceuticals and agrochemicals. Okay, well, I was talking about the weird part. And although the general contours of the catalytic methods is actually in current use, it remains surprisingly hard to predict ahead of time precisely which conditions will prove optimal to couple a pair of complex substrates. And Samha actually reports the development and the validation of a model to help optimize ligand selection in the Ullmann type copper catalyzed carbon-nitrogen coupling. And the use of such models could save substantial time as chemists seek to access target compounds. Yay! Nice! And that's it for today. And next episode, we'll be discussing the final leg of this journey. And so until then, be safe, smile, good, be happy, and always remember, wear a helmet or bring a flashlight. Vision. Bye, guys.